short cacti. Hey guys. I feel like every single writing vlog I make, it's me trying to finish my book. I've been working on a contemporary fantasy novel called On This Ground since September. Really, I started working on it in November. It's like 150,000 words right now. We're nearing the end of the book, and I'm at the stage where I just don't feel like writing it anymore. Like, I told my sister yesterday, I was like, I'm mentally checked out of this project. Like, it's over in my head. I was just watching Kris's recent writing vlog. I will link her channel in the description, and it sort of inspired me to start thinking about writing again, and also to start vlogging for you again. I have been taking a break from writing, which has been good because I realized that I should avoid doing evil things like writing 30,000 words in a month, because then it puts me into a bit of a funk where I don't write at all for like the next month. Usually it's just driven out of an anxiety to produce more and more and more, and so limiting myself to a smaller word count is usually going to be better for my productivity in the long run. So I'm currently, I think, on chapter 21 of the draft. I have to go back and make some revisions because I realized there was something wrong with one of the chapters. The emotional arc wasn't quite there, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So I think I'm just gonna pretend that I did it and then move on and then just keep writing, and then I'll come back and fix it kind of later. I've had an eventful last couple days because my family literally found an entire nest of baby bunnies in our backyard. So yesterday I went to go get a new phone, and while I was there, it was uncovered that there is an entire nest of baby bunnies from the bunny that lives in our backyard currently living under the deck. So not only do I have to get back into writing, I'm also keeping tabs on how this family of bunnies is doing. Hello. So it's been several days, and would you believe me if I said I have done pretty much zero writing since that clip? But a couple days ago, my sister and I have made it a bit of a tradition to reread our work together and do a little reading party, because when we shared a room and when we were kids, we used to reread our work to each other out loud, sort of like a little showcase. Like every night after we'd written something, I would read my work and then she would read her work to me. And as we've gotten older, like we don't want to reread all our work out loud, and also it would take longer to read out loud. So what we have decided on is just sending each other our books and then we read them like on our iPads, and it's really fun and cute. And I made biscuits. I also made deviled eggs. It was really nice. Reading with her was the first time I'd really like connected with On This Ground in like a month, and so that was kind of pleasant. It reintroduced me to sort of the flow of the work, the vibe of the work, and most importantly, the voice. And Reeve, my narrator, I miss her so much. Now, she's a character I've been writing with for literally 10 years. 10 years this coming October. And I missed her so badly when I was looking at the chapter. Sarah was talking to me about it because we usually have a little debrief at the end about sort of what we thought. And as she was talking to me about it, I was taking a look at it and I really missed her. And that night I reread a little bit more of it. Last night I read more of it. And obviously Harrison has a point of view in this book. Reeve isn't the only narrator, but it was just really nice to reread with her particularly because I miss her a lot as a character. She is my world, I think, as a narrator. She started everything, and so she seems very comfortable for me to write with, and I cannot wait to write with her. Thankfully, we are writing a Reeve chapter, so it's not like I have to struggle through a Harrison chapter before we get to her. I split a chapter into two, and I meant to go add in stuff to the previous one to sort of revise it to get us to where we are right now, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just gonna keep going and pretend that I already did that, and then one day I'll go back and, add all the things I was supposed to. So this is my lovely new desk. I used to have a keyboard over here, which you might have seen in some of my other vlogs, but this is what it looks like now. Now, it's not actually new in that it's like a new desk. It literally used to be outside this door. I have my monitor, which is on two books. It's literally on Lore by Alexandra Bracken and Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. I have a little swan. I have a vintage copy of Faith by George Michael, the single, my laptop, which is currently jittering on the screen because I need to get a new dongle, as you can see, my laptop, and an amp, my tea, this candle, which is a dollar store prayer candle, highly recommend. They burn a long time. They are not scented, so if you're sensitive to scent like me, this is the art. Harrison's literally he's everywhere. A month clockwork thing that my lovely friend August, I'm not sure if he's watching this, made me. Thank you so much. And that's my screensaver. Now, I haven't properly written literally anything in weeks. It's been about 4 weeks. I've maybe written, I don't know, 100 words of this book in that time. This is actually my first time writing at it at this new desk setup, which literally it's the exact same setup, just a little more room. So I'm gonna pull up Sunless Ground. I actually think I have it up already. I know I left off on like a juicy chapter. Like there's a lot of information, and it's kind of funny that I kind of ended off here because it's not like there's not a lot of content for me to write about. I love writing Reeve flashbacks, and it's gonna be flashback heavy. We're also gonna get some Lonan backstory, which is gonna be quite interesting because Reeve's gonna find out some things about him. Cough, cough. He's always a father somehow. I have been listening to a lot of Sarah Kinsley because when I work, I kind of need to listen to music to actually keep me on track. So I've been listening to Sarah Kinsley, who has 2 EPs. I haven't listened to her new one, actually. She released it last year. But the 2 that I was writing a lot of Seventh Virtue, which is the first book, the book that comes before Sunless Ground, was Cypress and The King, I believe are the EPs. Yeah. I was writing a lot of Seventh Virtue when I fell back in love with the project, when I really I buckled down and I finished it, was when I was doing NaNoWriMo 2022. I think. So it was just so nostalgic, like listening to this music. I was like, Reeve, I miss you so much. And so I'm thrilled to edit what I wrote because I have written a flashback where Reeve and her ex-boyfriend Joel, back when they're together, go to a party that one of Joel's friends is hosting, and all of the Reeve flashbacks are really like literary. It's literally literary fiction. I have turned one of the flashbacks actually into a literary short story for that exact reason. And so it's just fun to kind of delve into this literary voice where they go to this party and it's kind of bizarre. The girlfriend of Joel's friend is pregnant, and there's sort of like a whole commotion. It's quite interesting, and the idea of parenthood is like a real big theme. I'm just gonna leave this out here. It's a real big theme in this chapter. I was saying nothing. I'm gatekeeping Sunless Ground. I would love to do like a spoilery recap of this whole book, but I don't know if I could do it without doing Seventh Virtue first. So maybe I have to do Seventh Virtue too. So the update is that it's just past 11 o'clock and I didn't do much drafting, but I did reread a flashback that I wrote in Sunless Ground that I was excited about, but I was kind of disappointed reading, which is kind of a bummer because I've reread it several times and I've been quite happy with it. I was kind of surprised by how much I revised it, or I added things to it, or I wasn't happy with the flow, or I thought I don't know, it was the writing's not good, which is not really a thought I have that often about my writing anymore, so that kind of sucked. But at the same time, whatever, it's not a big deal. I started writing the first 50 words, barely anything of a new scene. And the last thing I'm gonna do for tonight, because I do need to sleep because I have to work tomorrow, is I am going to move my notes from iCloud on my computer. It might take a while, hopefully it doesn't. In the meantime, I've also been coming up with some titles for book 3. I want to kind of continue with this S and then another word kind of title, an S adjective and then another word. So obviously it's the Seventh Virtue and Sunless Ground. So it's kind of hard. I was asking for your tips kind of, and I have many different options. The only one that I don't hate that much is Safer Graves, because I feel like that feels really in sort of the world of Seventh Virtue, Sunless Ground. It feels kind of in tone, because it's not just about the title of the book, it's also the title fitting within sort of the vibe of the other books as well. It needs to feel like the vibe. If not, it's not going to feel like the book. The only problem I don't like is that it's the same letters as Sunless Ground, which is stupid. It really shouldn't be a problem. That's the only one I don't hate. I don't love it either, to be honest. I also had Split Point. I don't know. It's pretty nice in terms of the sound, but it's not really in terms of the vibe exactly what Seventh Virtue is. Seventh Virtue, Sunless Ground, sound the same as like kind of Safer Graves. I feel like Safer Graves is the one I have to go with because none of the other combos that I have thought of feel like the book. So maybe I'm just overthinking. Anyway, I'm gonna move my notes. That's gonna be the end of this vlog because I don't want to edit a whole bunch of footage. So thank you so much for watching. This has been a really all over the place vlog of me just trying to adjust to like a new routine while also writing. And honestly, I'm not really prioritizing writing that much because in reality, when you're an adult and you have responsibilities, you can't always. And so I'm not gonna act like I can always do a whole bunch when I have other things to do. And so I hope this is a more realistic look. I know the last year I have not been doing anything, like, so I've had a lot of time to write, but I hope this is more realistic to show you like me sort of balancing it. I spent, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours dedicated to my writing tonight, which was pretty solid, to be honest. To fall asleep, I'm probably just gonna reread Sun This Ground, or I might watch Kitchen Nightmares instead. I don't know, we'll find out. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in another one. Bye. Mwah.